What a stupid game. What a crappy game.
So we had 3 shots on target to their 2. We had 13 total shots to their 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't know how we lost that game, but we did. And it's just got to lick your chops and move on.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Currently on KC Sports Network, part of No Other Pod. What is up? I'm Daniel Kooser, here with Chris Wright to talk all things Kansas City Current and NWSL. Chris, hello, my man. It's not how I want to be greeting you today with these sad, look at my sad eyes. I'm sad. How are you, buddy?
I mean, 2 losses in a row, man. Like, I don't know the last time we've recorded under such heinous conditions, but nonetheless, here we are.
Spoken like the spoiled soccer brats we are with his women's team.
We are spoiled. Sometimes you gotta just kind of remind yourself that,
it's a little rough. I mean, if you win your home games and you lose your away games, technically you're gonna make the playoffs in some fashion, right? Like it's fair to say.
Not the expectation we have, but to be fair, yeah, you're going to make the playoffs.
It's just a weird team. Currently, the current state of things is a little weird with injuries in the team and everything, but we're going to talk all about it. We're going to break it down. Somehow we're still in first place. Yeah, shocker. We're still here, tied with Orlando, but we win the tiebreaker. You know what the tiebreaker is? It would normally be wins. But we're tied on wins.
Yeah.
Do you know what the tiebreaker is?
I found out after we recorded, but it was yellow cards.
Yellow card accumulation is the tiebreaker since we, are tied on wins and all that stuff. And
Claire Hutton single-handedly trying to ruin that for us, but we barely squeaked by.
She was working on it, dude.
She was.
Man, hey, shout out, little back heel flick on that went a little viral this week. You see that? Yeah. Claire Hutton to Dabinia?
I did, yeah.
That was sexy, dude. That was a sexy pass.
I don't know what's going on. She's hanging out with Brazilians now, and look at her go.
You know what it is? I mean, dude, if I'm a young player and I'm surrounded by stars, such as Dabinia and Bia, it's just gonna make you better. And she's on the perfect team to be better. You know what I mean? With her development and stuff like that. I hope she's around for a bit.
What a luxury for not only the Current, but for her. She doesn't have to, there's not a ton of pressure for her to produce in terms of, we have veterans, right? She can take a breather. It's not all on her shoulders. She can develop and learn under the best at her own pace. And that's a great place for any younger player to be in.
It's awesome. This game was in sad circumstances we meet you with on a Wednesday morning here, but some things around the league before we jump into the game. We did not discuss last week. I believe we meant to, and we didn't.
We were shocked by the loss. We couldn't move forward.
It's a little much. Didn't know how to deal, dude. Like, how do I operate? What do I do with my hands? How do I podcast? Some NWSL teams are going to be involved in a second division. Like, MLS has their MLS Next Pro. A lot of teams have a 2 team in there, like Sporting KC 2. And not many people know this. Real ones know that Kansas City Current has a second team. And we talked about how they will be a part of the soccer tournament, that TST that 7-on-7 thing this summer. And then we now it sounds like they're going to be a part of this NWSL 2. I don't know if that's like the name they've settled on or whatever, but sounds like this thing's moving forward, man. Teams are voting on it and stuff and getting involved.
Yeah, and I know they made the official application, so it's supposed to debut next year in 2026. Don't know when, but I mean, I'm excited for it. More women's soccer is always a great thing. when they got rid of the college draft, right? There's no avenue for a lot of these players to go. If you can't play in Europe, they have the USL league, right? But there's no great ground floor, up to the NWSL other than college. And this kind of fills that gap. So I'm excited for it. I know some teams are upset because they feel like it gives an advantage to teams who have that, second team. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it gives you an opportunity to check out other players and to grow players up within your system.
So don't be upset. Just do it. Just get on board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Grow the league, right? Like, be a part of growing the league. Don't be upset because, you don't have. It's easy for us to say the Longs have done a great job.
Yeah.
But now this league has evolved so much, you have to keep up with it. You can't stay stagnant and not invest anymore and then expect, to stay ahead or with the other teams.
Yeah, man. And it's all about player development, too. I mean, someone of Claire Hutton's age, back to Claire Hutton, who might be becoming my favorite player on the team, someone of her age would not really be like a first-team person normally. You know what I mean? A normal young player would not be a normal starter like this and putting up good numbers and minutes. So someone like that would be great to get experience with KC Current 2. And it'd be good for players coming back from injury. You can put them down there a little bit, get some game time minutes. We've seen Sporting KC, man, bring a lot of players through that little pro player pathway, they call it, and get some good first team minutes that came from like their academy to their MLS Next Pro team. So overall, this is good for the league.
I mean, I think you mentioned it perfectly. You get a younger player in. I mean, this would be a great opportunity for somebody like a Mary Long, or I'm going to say Alex. I'm going to say Alex Pfeiffer. Not her quality is NWSL level, but coming back from injury, getting some of those those minutes and reps under a low pressure environment. And we have a lot of strikers on our team. It's going to be hard for her to come back and immediately compete for those minutes. Give her some time down there. Not that she, in terms of quality, she doesn't need it, but just in terms of just getting back in the rhythm. I think that'd be a great benefit for the league in itself. And more soccer, again, more soccer for us.
More soccer, yeah. That's what we need. More, just bog us down with all our time we have.
We don't spend enough time on it, right?
Exactly. I get criticized for the amount of TV and amount of sports that I watch, and I'm like, let's add something else, because I got into Formula One, buddy, and that's kind of a commitment. Yeah, shut your mouth.
When did this happen?
Wait, what, are you into it? You want to talk about it? No, it happened. I for a couple of years I've been trying to get into it, and then well, I was on and off. I kind of was like in and then fell off. Kind of like my UFC. I was trying to get in, and there was just so much. And Formula One, I'm in this year, and I'm watching every event, dude. If I'm available, I'll throw on the practice that's aired on ESPN News. Their practice, it's like an hour, but I love watching their qualification, and I love watching the race. A lot of times you have to watch like the replay, especially if they're in Australia or Beijing or something. You know what I mean? I ain't getting up at 5 a.m. to watch it. I'm sorry. I got my favorite guy, my favorite racer. He's a London vegan guy.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, like the only black racer in Formula One with Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, one of the most popular in the world too. Like one of the best.
And always looks classy as shit. But races for Ferrari, so that's kind of my guy. I'm always rooting for him. You know what I mean? Okay, sorry. I rambled. I'm excited.
I no idea. Good for you. I'm happy for you.
I saw someone at the sporting game with first of all, it was a Red Bulls shirt, and I was like, what the fuck are they wearing Red Bulls to a Sporting LA game? It was Red Bull Racing because there was a race that day. To which I said, they got racing jerseys? Like, do I need a Ferrari jersey? And Marissa's like, stop. And I was like, I don't know how much. Just let me check the price. She's like, don't check the price. I said, I should probably check the price.
I don't see you wearing it, so it looks like Marissa won out.
She won. We got a trip coming, so yeah, she wins. Real quick, April's best 11 was announced since we last recorded. Nola Bonta, welcome back to the best 11 here. Dabinia, best 11 again. That's crazy. that I think she's made. I think there was a record that she has been on the most best 11s. Is that right?
I'm not sure. Wouldn't surprise me. It would
Okay.
not surprise me.
Izzy Rodriguez, best 11. It's insane, bro. We just keep getting like 3 or 4 of the 11 players on this thing. Yeah, here it is. Dabinia, who now owns sole possession of the NWSL record for most best 11 selections, breaking the tie she previously shared with Casey Kruger. How great is that? 10th best 11 for Labonta, moving her up to a tie for 3rd all-time. And Izzy just received this praise for the 2nd time in her career and 1st time since June of last year.
It's kind of surprising. It shouldn't be, because I feel like she's always either, she's always on the cusp, right? She's always doing good things, but good for her.
She was on the back line and part of like our 4-match shutout streak, man, and kept opponents scoreless for 453 minutes. It's a big franchise record for us. So, not to mention her back-to-back assists we talked about. Remember that?
Yeah.
San Diego and Houston. But dude, this is just awesome. The caliber, we don't talk about it enough. We have a star in a lot of these players, and Dabinia is like the star, right? Always getting this recognition, holding sole possession of this record of best 11s. I know she probably didn't give a shit about that, but like it cannot be swept under the rug, the star power that we have on this team.
Yeah, it's easy to look past it, right? We're just so used to it at this point. But again, you just got to just kind of zoom out a little bit, right? And just kind of be happy and grateful that we have the roster that we have.
Yeah. By the way, those 3 recipients, it's tied for the most of any team for this best 11. We have garnered a league-leading 8 best 11 selections between March and April. No other club in NWSL history has had more than 6 players recognized on the best 11 team in the first 2 months of the season. So first 2 months, 8. Because last month we have 5, right?
Yeah,
that's how math works. 5 and 3 is 8, and we were like, "What? That's damn near half this team." Like, we're doing good things. I don't know what the May is going to look like because we're losing games, folks. We're not having fun. So, on that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk about this Friday night Seattle game. So stick right there. We'll be right back.
Looking for tickets for your next event? Tickets for Less is your #1 source. Save big on every purchase when you use promo code KCSN at ticketsforless.com.
Success in real estate takes more than vision. It takes the right financial partner. When someone takes something rundown and turns it into something great, that's called a comeback story. Like Bryan Group. They take distressed properties here in KC, completely rework them, and then turn them into valuable real estate. But that kind of work needs the right bank behind it. Enter Emprise Bank. They're not about cookie-cutter loans. They saw Bryan Group's vision, backed them, and now they're making big moves in Kansas City real estate. Talk about your partner in possible. Emprise doesn't do one-size-fits-all financing. They invest in potential and back growth. Visit emprisebank.com/KC to learn more. Emprise Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's playoff time, and if you're still just watching games, then you're missing out. With Pick 6 from DraftKings, you can turn your hoops knowledge into real cash. Just make your picks, track your score, and if you hit all 6, you're looking at bigger payouts than Prize Picks flex plays. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25 times your cash. And if you beat your competitor, you could be looking at a 500 times bag in your pocket. And right now, new customers get $50 in bonus picks with just a $5 entry. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code KCSN. That's code KCSN to play $5 and get $50 in bonus picks. Better payouts, bigger wins, only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. 1 per new customer. Bonus awarded as non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. Terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
My brother. Are you, I talked to Jimmy. Are you seeing these Thunderbolt spoilers online?
I have, and it's kind of irritating.
Marvel did it. Marvel spoilers.
Yeah.
They put it on billboards and shit. What are you doing?
It's a very unique strategy. Not giving your fan base an opportunity to see it in theaters before you
Give me 7 days. I just asked for a week. Give me 7 days before you start doing that bullshit. They gave a weekend. And it's like, hey, if you didn't see the movie this weekend, here's what happened.
I wonder if they were just blown away or surprised by how good the reviews were and like kind of the buzz. And they're like, we need to take advantage.
We got to piggyback on this.
If it was crappy, if it got bad reviews, I don't think they would be doing the PR stuff they are now.
Probably not. But if you're listening to this on release day, I saw it last night and hopefully I had a good time.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going today. Should be good.
Nice.
But yeah, I was pissed. I saw stuff and I was like, you can't be serious. Not going to say nothing on here, but I'm mad. Anywho, KC Current has lost their second consecutive NWSL regular season match. And Lynn Biondolo scores the lone goal for Seattle. Nothing like scoring your first goal of the season against us.
First goal with the rain.
Well, yeah. First goal with the rain as well.
Yeah.
She looked very excited to score this. I'm not happy for her. I wish all the misses in her career against us. I'll tell you that. It just hurts, dude. We're not used to losing. We're definitely not used to getting shut out, which that's the first time this year. So let's hop in. Let's break down this lineup real quick, man, because again, Michelle Cooper, not around, hurt. Very worried about her. She seems to be in limited training. So, I mean, like, she's not paralyzed or anything like that. She's working, trying to get back to game fitness. But Haley Hopkins gets another start up there, which you're like, okay, she scored last week. Let's see if she can do it again.
I'm going to make a quick detour, if you don't mind indulging me.
Okay. I love detours.
Well, you brought it up, and I had a couple numbers here. Hopefully, Chip doesn't cover a little later. We'll see.
Oh, we got good reminder for Chips, the chip shot. Good deal.
Is that what it's officially called? Because if it is, that's fantastic. Okay,
sounds cool.
It does.
Just need music for it. Chip shot.
Little intro there. So I was taking a look at the expected goals and expected assists with and without Michelle Cooper.
Oh.
Right. So on average,
this feels important.
So on average, the first 4 games where Cooper did play, per game, 1.3 assists per game expected assists, right? The 3 games without her, 0.8. So a half of an assist, per game average that we are not getting in her absence. That's not to take away from anybody else, right? I know everybody's working hard, but just shows you how good she is and how much she brings to the table. In the first 4 games, for expected goals, the Current are at 2.3 expected goals. That was our first 4 average.
With
Michelle. And then without Michelle, we averaged 1.13 goals per game expected. So
big drop
almost a half an assist and a full goal a game with her off the field. Now, 2 of those games were away on a really difficult road stretch in terms of travel. So take that for what you will. But it just goes to show how much she contributes, how important she is to the attack on our team.
It sure does, dude. It's I miss her. Like, I miss her streaking down the freaking sideline like that, getting open, putting in good balls. Nice to get
those crosses, man. We miss those like just hard low crosses, like from the side after she, burned somebody or put a move, man. It's absolutely.
Hey, Alana Cook was back in central defense with Kayla Sharples. By the way, when I said that those stats sound important, you laughed. I think you think I was being sarcastic. I was being very serious. it did sound important. I know you were like, okay, he's
I
really.
was trying to think of something like clever to say, like witty. Nothing came, so I was like, right into the stats.
It was important. It's important to know that. Midfield looked great. Flora Martelacho was over on the left back. That was interesting because when I saw her in the lineup, I was like, oh, are we going with like a 3-3-4 formation or something, or 3-4-3?
Yeah, that's what we kind of thought when we saw the lineup.
I didn't expect her to be a left back or have the versatility to do that, but she sure did get forward a little bit in the game as well, like our outside backs like to do. Haley Mace over at right back. So I don't know, man. You're going into Seattle. You're like, okay, they're gonna want this win, right? And we want to bounce back from our loss. And it just didn't work out that way, dude. And I got to tell you, I got bored, Chris. I got bored watching this game because I just wasn't entertained. And I know because I've been spoiled by being entertained by this game. 100 times over, they have been electrifying. And I know you just can't bring it 100% of the time, especially with roster shakeups and injuries here and there. But it just felt like we were a little flat on the night. And I know traveling can take stuff out of you too. I just don't know, man. What did you feel watching our performance?
It just felt, I think flat is a good way to put it. It just felt like Laura Harvey came up with a good game plan to neutralize our attack. Obviously, look at the subs here in terms of the timing. Chwinga came in later. Chwinga came in later.
Mm-hmm.
That really takes away from, obviously it takes away from our attack, but it takes away from how teams approach her and approach our attack. If she's on the field, they're dropping back further, that midfield's open more. That's giving a lot of opportunity to other players. But with her off the field, man, it just kind of felt like they suffocated the midfield. They really didn't give us many quality, looks in terms of space on the field. We just couldn't connect passes. I think they just did a really good job of, suffocating our offense and our midfield.
Our first real chance came in like the 22nd minute or something, and Haley Hopkins puts like a pretty slow little shot, kind of where she scored last week. Pretty easy for the keeper there, but other than that, man, like things were kind of slow for us. Like you said, the passes were kind of off. I understand the need to rest Chwinga or Dabinia. Like I get it. You're putting a lot of miles on the legs. But man, we are better with Chwinga on the field for like a full game, I feel. She's kind of dropped off and been like not a conversation topic for a bit with resting half a game,
Yeah. In the first 3 or 4 games, we just kind of talked about the numbers there, but the rest of the team did so well. I'm sure it's other players stepping up, but also, part of a tactic or strategy, but to get the rest of the team involved. And we saw it where she was making good passes to other players as opposed to trying to be a little more selfish. But without Cooper and just kind of without that chemistry on the field with the Dabinia and Chwinga on the field at the same time for a full 90, it's just really taken away from our attack. And we haven't seen, last year, there's a lot of those times where she pressured the back line, stole the ball and scored, kind of individual high effort play. Of course, those are few and far between. We got really spoiled last year, but I haven't really seen those this year. Maybe it's just her dealing with an injury, or maybe it's something where, she's trying not to do that as much. But you're right. It just doesn't feel like, she is where she was last year.
A little bit. Well, dude, the 0-0 draw that we had going for this first half, the hosts ultimately got their goal in the 37th minute, and Kayla Sharples did not like that this was a corner kick. I kind of tried to slow it down and kind of see if it did hit off her foot, and I think it did. But you're thinking like, I don't know, man, corner kicks, like we've had some problems with set pieces sometimes, and it comes in and it did not get cleared immediately. It got like bounced right in front of goal where Lynn Biondolo is, and she like takes a little touch and just flicks it with the outside of her right foot and has to almost almost toe pokes it just in the top of the net to beat Lorena. Pretty sweet goal, if I'm being honest. Good for her to have that awareness, but that can't happen. There's so many teal jerseys around her that she can't get the ball right in front of goal. Like, you got to get that out of there. I don't know where we go wrong here. I don't know how that player gets ahead on the ball anyways. Oh, it's so frustrating. There's 3 of our players guarding the person who heads the ball to Lynn. And then there's like 2 more players in front of Lynn. Even B is right there. And this just hurts. This is frustrating.
Yeah, it's just one of those kind of bad breaks. And yeah, it's just, you just can't have that happen, right? You can't have 5 players on the person who headed it and then the person who scored and not clear the ball, not get it out of the box. I mean, it was good positioning by her, if I remember correctly, and I know you just saw the replay. Did she like shoot and it kind of took a deflection, or did it kind of bounce around and then she was able to get it in there?
It didn't take a deflection, really. She tried to hit it with her left foot, but Bia was there to kind of block it with her body, but it bounced right there in front of her, so she's able to just flick it into the goal. Very frustrating stuff, man. But I'm thinking in this moment, okay, we score goals. I have no problem. We're gonna at least score one, right? And we just didn't, dude. Like, Dabinia had a moment on goal and kind of got deflected and was going towards the post, and Haley Hopkins was coming running in, and I was like, ooh, she's gonna blast that in. Just a little too slow for to beat the goalkeeper there. Goalkeeper got it first. But we go into this halftime 1-0, and it hurts. I'm not feeling good. It's a 9:30 game. I'm already getting sleepy. I've had some candy, so of course I'm crashing. I fell asleep if this was a football game, I fell asleep in the third quarter, for God's sakes. Didn't seem like I missed a lot, but I can't believe we couldn't get this done. And I do got to say, I think it's really nice that it's got to be kind of cool to play in an NFL stadium, right? I know you can't fill all the seats, and it's not that soccer atmosphere we want that's super contained and loud, but it's still kind of cool to play on like a big field, a big stadium like that, right?
Yeah, no, I think it'd be pretty cool.
I mean, we went to the sporting game against Miami at Arrowhead.
Yeah,
pretty dope, and that was way packed. That was a pretty sweet experience. So I bet they wish they had it packed like that, but they didn't. Anyways, neither here nor there. Did anything even good happen the rest of this game, dude? Like,
I think Bia had a shot that barely, went over the bar. I don't even know if it may have hit the bar or the post, but it was towards the back end, so it wasn't, going to go in. Mm-hmm. I think that was kind of close, but there was that offside that was called back. A little late. I think it was around the 70th. That was called back, and Dabinia, put it in the back of the net, but I believe she was offside when Chawinga kind of hit it.
I think you're right. I got the
highlight on the plane right there.
Here.
Yeah.
It's just first of all, I do want to mention Seattle's jerseys. Kind of spiritual, if I'm being honest. With like the rays of sunshine or whatever. I'm not sure how that jives with their identity of their club with that design, but it is what it is. It looks like you should wear it to church. But this was not without scares either, man. I mean, they were still coming at us trying to get a second goal.
Yeah.
Hitting it around our box a little bit. It was scary stuff. I gotta tell you, Lacho had some moments where she got out of trouble. Like 2 people were on her and she was able to dribble out of it and continue streaking up the left side. So that was kind of cool. We had shots too, man. Bia had a shot on goal. It hit the damn freaking crossbar, right? Went over the goal, like you said. But I think we need to get our people healthy. I think we need to get people back and injury free, and it's gotta start now. It's gotta start this weekend, man. We need to get back to winning ways because, like we said, we're still in first place. Orlando dropped points. Washington Spirit dropped points, but we could be 6 points clear of second place right now. Can you believe that?
Yeah. I mean, I think this week, the top 4 teams were winless. So, like you said, I mean, Kansas City lost, Orlando lost, Washington lost, and Gotham had a draw against Chicago. So
yeah,
it's just, spoiler, we're still first somehow. It feels odd that we are, but hey, take a positive there. But it's tough because you can, we're going to look back and see 2 teams that were bottom half of the table. Not bad teams, they're decent teams, but teams that we should beat. We could be 6 points ahead.
100%, dude. There it is, 71st minute. That offsides you mentioned. That's heartbreaking. Because all Dabinia had to do was kind of slow it up. You know what I mean? Just slow up her run, but she kind of overran that last defender and was just kind of there, and that hurts. But you got to move on. Bay FC's going to come in licking their chops knowing that we're beatable.
Yeah. They probably feel like we're the most vulnerable that we've been in a while. And I doubt Cooper will play. We do have a break coming up. I imagine they're probably going to target her for around that, and not play her before. So they probably see blood in the water. And they're looking at it like it's an opportunity to get a steal from Kansas City at home.
Yep. 100%, man. To see us losing 2 in a row like that, they're like, okay, time to make it 3. So, want to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we're going to hit Chip's Corner, the chip shop, and talk about this weekend's game. So stay right there. See you in a minute.
Thanks for listening to KC Sports Network. Make sure you download our new app. Find it on the App Store or Google Play. Just search KC Sports Network.
Bam, 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 bam. Chip shot. Hey, Chip was nice enough to send us over some stats and stuff, looking ahead, and he got a write-up. So ready to hear about it? Here goes. Here we go. A second loss in a row? Ew. Conceding a goal off a set piece? Ew. Biondolo getting a goal against her former club? Ew. No Chawinga in the starting lineup? Ew. An equalizer called back for offsides? Ew. All the thoughts about this game, but this was a true stinker for the Current. At least Orlando also lost, so we're not losing ground or anything. That 0.7 XG for the match is the lowest the Current have had since a 2-2 draw against Gotham FC in October of 2023. Whoa. But for the not-so-great stat line, I think we can find some information to take out of this one. I think that the Current had a good amount of ball movement throughout the game, and some of the Dabinia connections are really lethal. I do think that having Michelle Cooper still out of the lineup is hurting us, and having Chawinga marked as questionable with a hip injury doesn't bode well for the attack. One of the main things that the Current has done really well on the attack is to spread out the defense and crash back posts, something that Michelle Cooper has done plenty of this season. The Current are still hammering shots from all angles, with 9 players taking rips at the goal, including 3 defenders, so I would not look at this 2-game streak as anything indicative of massive problems with the team. If anything, I think a lot of our attacking diversity coming from all angles is the strength the team has. And especially when Chawinga came in and 3 Seattle players were dedicated to marking her, we're going to have additional players open. If nothing else, take advantage of that. Nothing in there to knock Biondolo's goal, though. That was a nice jab on a 0.1 XG shot into the upper net. I'm not thrilled about it, but I cannot complain too much. I was rooting for that last-minute Sharples header for the equalizer, but alas. Next up is the Current hosting a struggling Bay FC on Sunday. Bay FC is currently rocking a 0.8 points per game in their last 5 matches. 1 win, 3 losses in their last 5. Here's hoping for some of that CPKC magic to come back to get us on track. That is, unless Ilona Mayer didn't use it all up for the USA-Canada women's rugby match. That was, did you go to the rugby match?
I did not, but it looked wild, though.
It looked like a fun time, man. They probably didn't do any kind of like watch party there for the game, did they? I didn't see anything.
I didn't know. Not to my knowledge.
That'd be a late one. But like people were able to get home and in time for the sporting game or the KC Current game. And yeah, man, rugby atmosphere looked pretty great, pretty hype. Everyone, I think there was a lot of people there like, I don't know what's happening because I don't know rugby, but everyone's excited. So let's get excited.
I do remember a bunch of posts regarding watch parties for for the current. But Chip said something that was pretty interesting. And I just went back and looked at the XG because he was talking about Biandolo's 0.1, expected goal. That was a goal. And Seattle had an XG of 0.2.
Wow.
2, and we had an XG of 0.7.
I'm so mad, bro.
That, and then
what a stupid game. What a crappy game.
So we had 3 shots on target to their 2. We had 13 total shots to their 4.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I don't know how we lost that game, but we did. And it's just gotta lick your chops and move on.
I'm not gonna lick my chops. I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna lick my wounds. I'm slumping now. I'm sad boy. You just hate to hear that XG shit, man. And by the way, I do gotta say, I love how like analytics have come such a long way. Like a lot of people still don't understand XG. They're like, how does XG work? And I was like, come on, that's for the smarter people to figure out. We don't have to know how it works. We just know what it means and what the numbers are. You know what I mean? But whatever, dude. You got to move on. Your road trip didn't go as planned. Didn't take points away from your road trip. 2 games. That sucks. But what you can do is come in and whoop that Bay FC ass. Why can't you come in on Mother's Day? By the way, my mom's coming. Don't let her down. She's never been. Mama Kooser is coming, dude. And I hope we get it done. It's going to be incredibly sad if we don't. I will say having a struggling Bay FC coming is also a little scary, seeing as how we drop points against a struggling North Carolina team.
So, I mean, that being a mixed bag, they've had some good results against teams that we have not had good results, but they've struggled. They're 10th in the table, 7 goals for, 8 against, obviously a -1 goal differential. It seems like they just can't quite figure themselves out. But Jordan Silkowitz, I think, is having a pretty good year.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she just stop a penalty over the weekend?
God, that was wild.
It was, dude. She went one way and then just extended to get a big air paw.
Yeah, might be one of the best PK saves I think I've seen in a while. Yeah, that was a hard shot from Sanchez too. That was not a bad PK at all.
That was her first faced penalty in NWSL.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
That's crazy.
It makes her the 12th NWSL goalkeeper to start their first faced penalty. So that's fun. But they lost to San Diego Wave FC over the weekend. And by the way, dude, San Diego's on a hot streak, like 3 wins in a row. So that's crazy to hear. But we got to take care of this struggling situation, man. If they aren't getting wins and we're not getting wins, we need to show that we're the ones who win. Like we're up at the top of the table here. You're at the bottom. Stay there. Like we got things to do, man. It's Mother's Day. All right. We got to get shit done.
Well, we talked about Silkowitz, another kind of name that, if you're a current or Kansas City Woso fan, Kiki Pickett over there at Bay is their highest rated player according to FOT Mob, and she has 2 goals on the years as well. So she is tied for the lead on her team, and blast from the past. But yeah, I mean their attack is not that great either. I mean, I thought the same thing about Seattle as well, but they're not a strong offensive team.
No,
we're better at home. Right, we're better at home. Hopefully rested.
We'll have a longer break, man. We'll have a longer break than they do. They played Sunday, I believe, and we played Friday. So 9-day rest for us here. And the way they gave up that loss, by the way, against San Diego, it was a stoppage time goal. They lost in stoppage time, so they're going to be a little frustrated, a little fired up. Like, hey, man, we had points there and we lost. So let's go into Kansas City. This team who's shown that they're beatable and take advantage of some injury situation. I don't know, man. I think it'd be just nice to see Michelle Cooper on the bench. Chawinga not included on the sports medicine report, I just want to get some people back, dude. Isn't Alex Loera also on Bay FC?
Yeah, but I don't think. Let me take a look. most recent game, I don't think she was available.
Okay.
Yeah, she was not available. So
Fair enough.
won't see her.
Well, buddy, I like you said, they're 10th in the table. I mean, they're down there. They're out of a playoff position. They've been very consistently inconsistent. -1 goal differential. It's all the numbers say we should get this shit done, which is why this kind of scares me. I don't want our first home loss to come from a team like Bay. All due respect,
No, 1,000%. Just kind of, again, taking a look at their team stats here. They are, 10th in goals per match. They're 7th in average possession, 12th in shots on target per match, 14th in big chances. They're not really creating for themselves. So, with Sharples and Cook, and you imagine you're going to have Izzy and Ellie Wheeler, who Ellie didn't start the game against Seattle, which was interesting. She had been previously. But, with that back line, I think they're going to really kind of focus up and hopefully stifle and suffocate the lethargic offense of Bay here.
I bet we work on set pieces all week. I bet we try to lock that shit down because there's no reason that woman should have had a header with 3 of our players around her. Ain't no way. So we'll see what happens, man. You feeling decent about this, though? Or are you kind of scared? Is this another trap game situation? What are we thinking?
Yeah, it's hard to call it a trap game after, lost, 2 in a row.
True.
I mean, it's hard to say you're desperate for a win as well when you're technically first in the table. We're not
desperate.
But we also don't have much margin of error against a team like Orlando, Gotham, and the Wave.
Right? Well, it is stacked up there, by the way.
Yeah.
4 points separate first from 8th place. That's pretty wild.
That's nuts.
Angel City and Seattle getting into that conversation. Washington has dropped from 3rd to 6th. But placing doesn't even matter right now because it's so cramped with points. And Orlando and Kansas City really could have taken off the last 2 weeks, and they did not. Neither one.
Yeah, we might look back at the end of this year and look at these 6 points that we dropped, and then that could cost us a home playoff game, or the road goes through Kansas City type of situation. So it's kind of tough to swallow, but all you can do now is kind of turn it around. And again, we're still number 1 or top of the table, and it's I don't know. It all starts with Saturday.
Yep. It's sure Sunday, man.
Apologies. Yeah.
Sunday at noon, early time. I tell you what gets me is I wish that you could tailgate in these places, man. That noon game is perfect eggs and bacon, baby. Let's get some eggs and bacon on the griddle and tailgate up there, but you can't. No tailgating in the parking lot. Womp womp.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying, but
it is what it is. Shoot, man. Anything else worth talking about here? What do you got? Anything?
I don't. We're facing a team who's not good away and has had a struggling offense. So, I mean, I really want to see how we adapt and how we try and, adjust our attack to kind of get out of the funk that we're in without Michelle Cooper. So,
yeah,
I don't know what that's going to look like, but I'm hoping that's part of the focus for this week.
I agree, buddy. All right. Well, if you got nothing, then we will just wrap this baby up. Because I'm dying to get back to winning ways, my man. It's gonna be wild. So, thank you everyone for being here. Show up Sunday. I know you don't got to tell people that because that stadium's always packed. It's always loud. I hope to hear a lot of train horns. I hope we get a lot of goals and get back to putting in multiple goals, man. I don't want these 1-0 little dust up things. Let's score. So we appreciate you. Hit us up on socials at No Other Pod, at Dan Kooser, at Chris Wright 21. You can email us, nootherpod@gmail.com. You can leave us 5-star rating and review, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Let your friends know where to find us. And you'll see our beautiful faces next week, hopefully for another victory pod. Got to get back to it. So for Christopher Wright, I'm Daniel Kooser. We'll talk to you next week. Love you.